The number one thing that I want everyone is to get a space to then in as being against scholarship your is that you must be very genuine, sincere with yourself. To know what you're lacking. Also have clear cut plan what to do to make up for what you're lacking. That's one. And I mean by you we all heard of scholarship, their publication. And he mentioned the fact that there are others who have maybe 30 applications, 15 applications, 15 applications, still scholarship. And I to believe in a way, I start it also boils down to the same topic. Look, there's a way you will craft your narrative, even with the 15 or 20 pages, that readers will this guy actually is talking. And there's a way you craft your narrative, even with 15 pages, is just knocking in the fundamentals are just this is academic rights, and you're just making it look like so. Your attitude in yeah, not to some situation. This is key. Don't be very really sometimes I hear I see someone tell me hello, like that's impossible. I don't know you. I mean, daily interacting, you're saying hello. I mean, at the very least, session for they are all even say you should make it formal. Let me see a form academically accepted line of presentation. All these things matter. That's point number. So again, what is OUN? Scholarship money we're talking about is there material and the always go time. I promise you. The book and they will two must be conscious of the influence. And I cannot overtime. I am not shocked. Silas is referring to because at the end of the day, this is being the app that's for especially for the being person try and die still make you. So yourself is really shows it. And you still give ask myself why I'm here really for this kind of thing. Preaching the gospel research, telling you that research can form, that research can be easy, it can be pleasurable. At anywhere you find yourself, you can communicate, you can intellectual conversation. You don't discover you know your story. So these things need to get that. Please guys, make you make conscious effort. Again, the fact that I review so is not guarantee. If you look at the resources, more than 1,000 there scattered all over the if you follow those guidelines and follow them in a dedicated, I promise you you'll never stop. Let me continue with the slide. I'm enjoying it. Dr. Fola, your mic is muted.
Sorry, yep, this happens a lot. I don't know. I never get used to it when you're online. You're talking and it's like, oh, I'm on mute. Thank you so much, Dr. Olu, for that. See, I mean, we can't overemphasize all of these things. I think it's the same message that we're trying to pass in a different way for you every time that this journey is your journey. That's what I would say. I think for my I would sort of relate it to my PhD student when I come with my PhD student during supervision and it's like I don't know what to do in this route and I'm like, well, I'm not the one doing PhD. I think I've done mine thankfully and I don't think I'm doing one anytime soon, in fact maybe ever. So this is your PhD. So the same thing, this is your journey. You have to take ownership of it. When you come in, you have to know your onions. You have to know everything that is in that area. I mean, not everything, but like know enough for me to know you're ready, you're set, you're dedicated. It's not you come to DMs. Like I said, I mean, I received some emails, especially in my work email. I received some emails and it's not even worth responding to. You send an email and you just, I'm a graduate of so 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 so. I would like to work with you. What am I getting from working with you? Have you done your research? Have you found what would interest me? Have you and you haven't done all of that, and you just come and say, especially some even requesting for funding, not just supervise, but also the whole fund you. And I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to get from funding you? So you come in, you are supposed to come, and the thing is, the first time you come in, unfortunately, that's the impression you would leave. That's the way we will view you. So if you're coming in, you're coming strong. You know your drill. You know everything you're supposed to know. You're presenting yourself in such a way that you have to be taken seriously. Like, I see your email, I'll see your DM, and I have to take you seriously. And there are some messages I respond to in my DM because they've just, like, they lay it out, everything is clear, and the question is on, and it's just like, what can you say about this? And I'm happy to respond to such. But when you just tell me, I'm interested in coming to UK, I need funding, and I'm like, okay, where do I even start with this person? So please try and do your own homework, as well as we would be happy to help and support you as much as possible. But the journey is your journey, and you have to take ownership of it, irrespective of how much resources we give, how much support we offer. It's still your journey, and please, do your own homework, do your own assignments in this regard, and hopefully we can help ourselves. I am, like, I mean, I'm dedicated. I want people to come to UK. I want people to come to or travel abroad anywhere. I want you to follow your dream. I want you to achieve your whatever the dream, the desire, the career path that you want to take. But I can't do it for you because it's not mine. I think I have done mine to a point now. That I can't do yours. You have to do yours. So when someone, honestly, I see some message or some DMs, is like, I get shocked. I can't, I don't even know where to start. It's just, hi doctor, I finished my BSc. How can I get funding in the UK? And I'm like, have you even done a Google search of funding in the UK? Just UK funding. Have you even, you know, make attempts? Because you need to have done something, and you need to explain some things. Oh, this is it. Lay out some things that makes me feel, oh, this person is actually serious about this, and this is how much I can also dedicate time to support the person. So hopefully, you are taking away from this and really getting the value that I hope, or we hope, you're getting from it as well. Thank you so very much. Is there any other information we want to pass? Yes, Aaron, please.
Yes, talking about volunteering, just very quickly, a lot of people have had concerns, and apologies, this would have been mentioned, and it might be repetitive if I'm saying it again. Some people have reached out to ask, oh, I've seen your profile, you volunteered here, but I mean, there are no organizations around me that I can volunteer with. Volunteering, you don't just note that you don't have to do it with an organization. You can do volunteering projects that might not even involve money. Say, for instance, you can write to school to say, oh, just an example, to say, I want to come talk to your students about HIV/AIDS. I want to come talk to your students about STI, or about about whatever public health thing you are interested in. And just that, say for instance, the school is generous to allow you to speak to a school that is up to maybe on the assembly ground. It's okay, we'll give you 2 minutes to come speak to the students on the assembly ground because we don't have time for accommodation. Use that 2 minutes to speak on the assembly ground. And there are 5,000 students in that school. You have no idea how magical that will add to your SOP. I mean, sensitizing people on a particular topic, or disseminating information on a particular topic of interest, or cancer or anything, over 5,000 people, in quantifying it that way, so you have no clue how. But then you did it in 2 minutes, but whoever is reading on the other side did not know that it happened in 2 minutes. what is important is the context and the information you've passed across. So you don't necessarily have to, sign up, apply to go and do an organization. If that is not working out for you, you can do something like it could be that personal project, could be on maybe menstruation, it could be on anything. And another way you can do it, for instance, you joined an online campaign on a particular topic of interest. Maybe you did not even sign up to that campaign. Somebody signed it up, but a million people signed up to that campaign, and some kind of change happened. You were part of the campaign. You volunteered your time. You went on the internet. You volunteered your energy. You have volunteered. Those simple tasks that you have done, that some people, I find that many people do not realize how you can actually capture that. Or not how, but many people don't know that you can actually even use some of those experiences to show that those are volunteering. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go work with an NGO, go to the office 3 times a week before that is considered. Those personal projects, online campaigns you joined, you organized maybe some webinar of some sort, you invited maybe one scholar or somebody to come give a talk to people on the internet for a particular thing. It's a virtual world now. There are a lot of things you can do. Whatever sparks you, and you're heading towards, okay, my interest is in cancer. I don't have any work experience. I don't have any volunteering experience. You attended the Twitter space and you heard Olajide, or one of the people said, oh yeah, he's done some work in cancer. And people are really happy to speak. When I get invited to come speak about some things, I'm really excited to do it because it's really fun talking about some of these things. And maybe you reach out to somebody and they come give, it's okay, because of my time, I might talk to your people for maybe 10 minutes because I have brother in this. You facilitated somebody to come talk to people. Just that few minutes, you've demonstrated leadership skills, you've demonstrated organization skills, you would have demonstrated maybe budgeting, you would have demonstrated a lot of skills by just inviting somebody to come speak for 10 minutes. There are a lot of things that people don't realize that they can actually capture on their skill that will show that they are, that they are very, that they've got that passion, they've got that experience in that field. You don't necessarily have to go work with an organization, or you don't have to work, for instance, or volunteer for a year before you are able to show that passion. It's about how you capture and amplify that story, which I agree is another skill, but constantly working towards that journey is, helps you to get better as you go along the journey. So I hope that helps. Thanks.
Thank you. Definitely, it does help. I think, can I just briefly chime in here? I did mention about scholarship. Volunteering at the start. I talked about a friend who was not able to, struggling to get a job. I just mentioned that, would you mind volunteering? And she did. Long story short, she got a job. She got visa for 5 years, and she even got the places that she's applied to saw her on LinkedIn, and they are now sending her they're not sending her job offers. So volunteering cannot, it's just my story personally. I know so many people finish their PhD and they, like, I get them in my DM or on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, like, I finished my PhD and I can't seem to get a job. I couldn't believe it. In the first person, I was like, wait, what? And then somebody else that I did my PhD with in the same university, she in fact, she started before me and she finished before me. She also contacted me, like, by this time I was already a senior lecturer. She contacted, in fact, it was the senior lecturer tweet that she saw, and she messaged me and said, oh, Fola, you're not senior lecturer, I'm still here to get. And I was like, wait, what? How? What did I do differently? It was by God's grace, of course, but in addition to that, I volunteered. I remember, because my uni then, they were sort of like, international student. They didn't. It's like you are like bad news. Nobody wants to touch you. It's like international student visa. Nah. So no one wants to give us job in terms of teaching and the rest. So I thought, well, I used to be this faculty rep for PGRs, for PhD students. I tried to fight for all of us to get. I realized, well, this fight is probably beyond me. So I just settled in for, I'm going to volunteer. I remember when I mentioned, in a few of them are like, yeah, no, I don't have the time. I have this. But I was like, well, I'll volunteer. I volunteered. The volunteering wasn't like I taught for so long. How many classes did I take? Just few classes. And like Aaron said, on my CV, I just pop it. I taught this session to that session. That was it. Although maybe within the session, I probably only taught like what, 5 classes or so in a session. But I mean, I thought if you check my name, I taught on that session in that session, and that's all I needed to put on my CV. So like we're saying, volunteer. It doesn't have to be for a long period of time. You don't have to lie. I taught within that session. Now, if I was asked in my interview how many, maybe how many classes, then I would definitely say, oh, it was 5 classes. But within that session, I taught, and that's all that matters. And that's the impact that they needed to see that, oh, okay, this person have actually, had 1 or 2 experiences with teaching. And that was enough for me to get a job. So just to say in my, add my own story, I definitely talked about my friends on one before, but just to add mine as well. Thank you. Olajide, please. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Fola. Just to add also that when it comes to volunteering for public health, I see this norm that a lot of young people, back home, they always try to create their own NGO as well, just for the sake volunteering, right? And in the long run, the NGOs go more. So it doesn't really matter that because you want to volunteer, you now start creating your NGO and you call yourself CEO of blah blah blah. No, you don't need to really do that. You can leverage on existing system, existing structures, right, in places, and you can do it, have a lot of impact within that organization, compared to even creating your own afresh. So there are lots in our community back home. I'll give an example, like Tunde Odi on Twitter, who is doing something with the kids at under bridge and in Oshodi, Lagos. In Lagos, you can plug yourself into that system, ensure that anything you are doing there is documented. You might document it on your Twitter, put a face, right? A face to whatever you are doing. Document your engagement, quantitatively as well. Take advantage. Okay, what were the issues before? What were the tasks required? What did you do? I plugged myself into this community or this NGO. We reach out to this. Then you give them the aftermath, the impact. You may not be able to stay on for long in the association, but always try to follow the impact or the outcome or the result of whatever you share. It might be in the field of public. So I just want to put it out there. Don't go and create a new NGO afresh, then start, registering under CAC. If you can do it, if you have the time, do it. It's fine. If you have a system to build everything up and you have a futuristic goal 4 or 5 years, that even if I go for my master's abroad, it will keep running. You can do that. But I see that a lot. NGOs pop up here and there, and after 1 year or 2 the founder goes abroad to study an NGO. So it's very important. Please plug yourself into existing systems. See, you can also make impact within that system. Trust me. And even in Canada, for example, we do a lot of volunteering in your community. If you come here to study, for example, in public health, volunteering is even important in this country. And those are the ways I've seen people get jobs and things like that. Health system, health management, just from volunteering. And another thing, I know you, Dr. Fola, and those in the UK, you mentioned that people can pay instrumentally their tuition. For example, if you can't get a scholarship or you feel okay. For me, I always believe you can get a scholarship. But if you say, okay, no, I have, just fine. In Canada, you can also pay instrumentally if you want to come in to study public health. We always have 3 terms. 3 terms. We have the fall, the winter, the summer. So your tuition can be divided in 3 terms, or you can say semester, and you can pay it. It's every 4 months. So if you have money, to show, get your visa, you don't really need to pay. If the tuition is, let's say, 25,000, you don't need to pay everything once. So you can always pay every time. Just ensure that you have the money to be able to cover your study throughout the years. I always say it is very, very important. Don't come here, especially in Canada, with the thought of doing some student job to be able to pay a very expensive tuition. It's not always so easy. Please, people should take note of that. I use my thing.
Thank you. Yeah, very valuable. I think the whole public health realm is so easy for us to consider NGOs and just start our own NGO But like you have heard, it's very it will save you stress, time, which you might not have. Just plug in. All these NGOs are looking for someone to volunteer, so please try and take advantage of that. Aaron, please.
Please don't get tired with me. This is a personal one. Olajide mentioned something that really struck me, and I felt I should say as well. The idea of starting your own NGO. I remember when I went back from the UK after my master. That was the thing. A lot of people say, "Oh, but you just came back. You have public health masters. You have this thing. So why not just start an NGO that has to speak with this?" And at some point I considered, I'm like, that's a good thing, especially with a very my head, I was swelling. I just came back with the distinction. It felt very important. That was, it was really good. So I almost fell for it, to be honest, because it was really, I mean, how many people went to the UK at the time who were, not many people get the opportunity to go to the UK, get funded, even get a distinction. So when you come back, you are like, it's oh God. So starting an NGO was a very, very good idea. But quickly I dismissed that and I went to start looking for volunteering in existing NGOs in Abuja. And I worked and I finished, got another scholarship. The moment I came to Australia and I started, I posted a lot about my work and, sharing my stories online a lot. Socials. When I talked about persons with disabilities and HIV, a very interesting field that, that captures the attention of everybody. And I know a few people reached out to me at the time. I mean, I started my page in 2019. A few people reached out to me after my few posts. Man, Aaron, this is very important. Why don't you? I mean, you're in Australia, but you can just send it. We can help you run the process of the CAC registration. When you start an NGO, it will be better for you to start an NGO. You will make more impact. I'm like, guys, I just started this. I don't even know if I'm going to graduate. I'm just here. I just started this. I've not even done a confirmation. I don't know if I will tell me to pack and go out. I'll come back and meet you in Nigeria. We'll continue from where we stop. And so it's easy to fall for it, especially if maybe you have attained some level of professional experience, and it's easy to fall. I mean, it is good to do that, but sometimes I find that it's a distraction. I don't know what will happen in the future. Things might change. But as I speak, I feel like if I've had an NGO, if I decide to establish an NGO, it will have been a serious distraction for me, because I'll have I'm going to spend time in trying to build an organization, all the aspects of it. And my energy will go towards building some other aspect, and it might defeat the aim of actually learning what I wanted to learn at the time. Because remember that the first side is to go in there, dive in, get a few skills very quickly as much as can, and then shoot no shot in getting those applications. I mean, if I finish my PhD tomorrow and the thought is there to start an NGO, yes, so if it comes again, I still think that it's going to be a distraction for me until maybe something changes tomorrow. And then if I say I'll be better placed at the time, because maybe I would have graduated from my PhD, I would have been done schooling, I would have had more time. But imagine if I decide to start an NGO. I mean, I've worked in only NGOs all my life, volunteering and working. So imagine if I started an NGO in 2015 or 2016, in 2015, I would have been spending time to build the media, I would have been spending time to build the NGO, just to get grants and all of those things. And I would have not gotten a PhD in 2016 and a master's in 2016 to travel to do my master's. And maybe I would have been in Nigeria, probably building that NGO, maybe with some reputable height. Or maybe I wouldn't have gotten a master's, I would have not been doing a PhD. So there are different things here. You can just weigh your strength, weigh your weakness. But that's a very, very critical point. I mean, I find that sometimes it's a huge distraction, especially for those of us who are who are still learning the journey. And I say that myself inclusive, who are still learning the journey in the ropes of public health and trying to grow in this field. So a very critical point there today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yep, very valuable there. PhD is one hell of a journey, right? It's like the time is never enough. Sometimes, I mean, I am done with my PhD. I do know, I mean, I have a lot on my plate as well, but I feel like when I was doing my PhD, at some point, I had my Instagram, Twitter, I mean, Facebook was not really in existence anyway. So I had all of them uninstalled on my phone because that was how much distraction I felt like I didn't have the time, I didn't have the space to even accommodate any of those. So I can't even imagine how you guys are doing it now and still pushing in the work. It's beyond hard work and dedication. And so adding NGO on top of all of this, I mean, it's not impossible, but it's just a lot that for you to bite and chew, you might need to cut according to what you can do. It's better to do something well than do a whole lot and just be jack of all trade and master of none to an extent. Silas, please, do you want to chime in?
Yeah.
It, it, is it me or the network is a bit?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I think so, yes.
Okay. What I want to say is that people actually can church and mosque. For example, my wife never taught school. She started in the son of our church every Sunday to build and church young people. From there, she transitioned to teaching and some more wherever you find yourself. There, of course, in the church, there is a people man. So people can ask the man to go to church on you sign up to the works of right, sign up to help them counseling and weekend. So it must not necessary to create an NGO just like you can sign them and correct us. I'm wanted to type my current church in person. We had our and Reverend came to us, hey, I was going to take on our church wall for the barrel. And I was like, why? So people just come out. You don't necessarily to go far. Look within your can the church, there are needs there. Talk to young, can teach you, encourage young people, you prescribe to do so. So within the society, within your income, there are so trying to start up an NGO just collect to society. Yeah, not just
Hi, Silas. Thank you. I think we struggled to catch most of what was said, but thank you for the contribution. I think maybe some people did catch it. I feel like it might be my network or something. I'm not too sure. But I do appreciate the contribution. Thank you so very much. I'm not sure. Is there anyone that have question for us? Because we have been dropping a lot of information. I can see it says I have request, but I can't seem to see who is requesting because it's so anyone have question? Okay, right, right. Fab, I think I've been able to pull out now. Thank you, thank you. If you have question, please raise your hand. Where's she gone? Okay, I thought I saw. Right. Yes, please go on with your question.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming to give us more enlightenment on Bitcoin as a whole. Please, I would like to ask two questions. Actually, I am a public health graduate and I've been volunteering within organizations, universities, and I'm working as a data management specialist for my NYSC. So what I wanted to ask is that, is it okay, because I'm trying to create a balance within professional and academics. Right now, I'm working on some applications. I've done some before, and I'm still volunteering in another organization as an M&E officer, and I'm doing perfectly well. But at some point, like, people used to make it as if I don't really know what, like, I'm going here and there, but I'm really cool with everything. So I'm thinking, is it too much, or I'm okay the way I'm doing it? Because given an instance that I'm applying to some academics, and at the same time, I noticed that some of them used to even ask for people that have professional experience, of which I have. But at the same time, I don't want to leave out the volunteer as well. Okay, I'm really good at teaching as well. So I wanted to know, is it okay the way I'm trying to create a balance between all of those things? So secondly, I wanted to ask about universities in UK as well, because there are some. I applied for this year Chevening, so, but unfortunately I was not able to get to the interview stage. But that's not a problem. So I was considering, because I already have 3 unconditional offers. So I'm considering the instrumental payment, if I can go in for it. So I don't know how easy it is, because if I said I can afford one part of the payment, what of the rest? Will it be able for me? Will it be to university, or will I be able to cope with the remaining fee? Thank you. And thirdly, sorry, please let me quickly ask their MPH. Will I be able to go into research, like continue my research studies, like going into PhD with MPH, or that will be the end? Because I really, really have a lot of interest in research, because I've already started working on research, and so I really want to continue academics as well, but I don't want to leave it out, because I believe, giving example of WHO now, we have WHO. Inside it, we still have maybe like research, monitoring, and evaluation, which I believe is still the concept of professional, and we have researchers in it. So that's really something like I'm looking into. So I don't know if it is okay like that, but I should try and strategize my way of planning.
Thank you. Okay, that your question is packed and loaded. So I think Dr. Olu would definitely like to answer some part. Aaron would also like to answer some part, and I would also like to answer some part. So, Dr. Olu, please, do you want to help us out?
Thank you very much. So I have to check the that Barakat, I wish you from my heart, and you got every good info. All you just need to do is to decide to stay and have a skill. Just having the skill going towards the path of confidence. M&E, I graduated chemistry. M&E are key. Okay? Data analysis, I heard that. So, please, what we just need to do is to make firm decision to know myself completely this area. Okay? Now, with respect to every other thing, I don't know, I don't want to play those on this. So things you need a mentor. You need a mentor.
Yes, I've been struggling with one. The one I have is actually in South Africa, but he's a mathematician. The man has been helping me in my field. So I'm doing all the research myself, but at least I'm getting there.
Look, I think in this case, out of instructions, she just definitely be.
All right. Thank you.
You need a mentor that will guide you, conserve your energy towards a certain area to push you better. Okay? Those are
Right.
instructions.
Thank you. Aaron, please.
Yes. Mine might.
Aaron,
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Before you go on, I think we are getting some feedback. Someone's mic is still on speaker. Please, if you are not speaking, please try to mute your mic so we don't get feedbacks. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, great. So mine might be a bit different. Sorry, let me check. Barakat. I think that you are on track, and I don't know how many experience you have in this space. I've worked in this. I speak as a colleague who has worked in development for a while, and so this is going to be my own thought in terms of that. I think that you have all that it takes. And I am envying you right now because I wish that I had this school of thoughts when I was still working before I got on to do a master. I wish that at that time I would have collaborated with people as well to publish papers and to do all of those things. Now think of it as a knapsack. I know, yes, it's good to conserve your energy, but you're thinking of graduate school and going on to do a PhD. Think of it as you have a backpack behind you. And in this backpack, you're walking along this field of development. And the idea is to pick up every skill that you can pick up and put in your backpack while you are eyeing graduate school. If before I got my master's degree, I had, for instance, a few publications, I would have imagined how strong my application would have been. So yes, it's good to direct your energy. Very solid points by Dr. Olu there. But I also think that what you are doing right now is actually it's a priceless. M&E is, I argue that it's one of the most lucrative fields in development because of all of the skills you pick as an M&E. Again, my experience might not be as solid because I didn't used to like mathematics and all of that, so I kept away from some of those statistical tools and M&E sessions. So I was the problem guy, always in the field, always on the ground, right? But having those experiences, you're collaborating, all of that is good. And this will matter on how you put it in your CV. So wherever you are applying, if you're applying for jobs, you're applying for graduate school. On your CV, that's why you have spaces for research experience. That's why you have spaces for volunteering experience. That's why you have sections for work, for professional experiences. There are different sections. That is because it needs to allow you to show that you are proficient or strong, where you have skills in these different sections. So you are on track. You're doing perfect work. But because of this, I would like to encourage you as well. I know you are thinking of funding yourself, but it's very important that because I see that you already have those skills. You're doing M&E in development. You're publishing. This is huge. You have no clue how amazing these skills you already have. And whether you want to go to academia or you want to go to you mentioned WHO and all of those the sections of the different, there's programming, there's statistics. You have these skills. That is why it's good that you have developing skills. So if you find yourself in any of those places, you're able to apply these skills. You're going to go into your backpack and say, they needed somebody to do this data analysis. You pick up your skills from MIE and apply. They say we need people to go into the field for some kind of evaluation. You are there to do it. So at this point, I would encourage you, keep picking up this, keep publishing, keep writing, keep collaborating. The M&E, keep doing all that you can do. Because by the time you get into MIE, it might sound a lot, but I'll give you an example now. Apologies to lecturers and academics on the platform. I am not passionate about academia. I'm not interested in going on to teach, or I don't want to be in academia, and I've always been vocal about it. But I don't know what tomorrow will hold, right? So the moment I got into my first meeting with my supervisor in school, I've come from industry, I've come from the field of development. I've just been doing NGO work all my life. So I've never been interested. I'm good about mapping, training people, all of that, which the skills apply to teaching. when my first meeting with my supervisor in school, I told her, oh, do you have any teaching any of your course? And she said, oh, are you able to? I said, yes, I'm teaching so that I can learn and pick up some skills. And in 2020, I thought, by March, I'll start teaching again. If tomorrow I finish and they say, oh, no, a position just opened here for a lecturer. So I'm not, my passion is to go back into development, go back into that, get dirty on the field. But I've already picked up a skill of teaching. I'm a special academic in school. So it means that I can apply those skills. Or I'm teaching and marking. So it means those skills are very, very valuable. But right now, to be honest, I'm not interested in doing that. But something might come up tomorrow. But then I have the skill. I've picked up this skill while I was studying as the PhD student. So it seems like a lot because I have a few friends who are not doing it. So it's hard trying to juggle my PhD, trying to write my work, and then trying to prepare for classes and also mark things for other students. It's a lot of work juggling this, and it can be very overwhelming. But when I finish, I know that somehow, no matter how it works, somehow this will stick for me to grow. Because some of the things I've done before are spoken for me now. Right? So please keep publishing, keep writing. In fact, it looks like you are doing so, but you are not. You are preparing yourself for that. And if you are thinking masters, I know the UK, Australia is one place where a lot of students come in and they pay instrumental fees and then they work to pay some of their fees. It's so hard for many of them, and I will not encourage it because it's easier if you get with your skills, you can get a scholarship for public health is very good. And so please just think more into applying these skills and applying for school. There's so many scholarships. You are thinking of the Commonwealth is there. Commonwealth have over 5 streams of it. You have Sydney, you have Master. There are so many.
I applied for all of them.
Yes, that's fine.
Actually.
Beautiful,
in fact,
beautiful.
I did have one of University of Ottawa that we did a space 2 weeks ago. But I reached out to the professor. Replied and everything. In fact, I was able to see a professor that works about social determinant of health on papers that were already very, very the same, it's almost the same thing, but they didn't reply the email. So I'm still trying to get in touch with the graduate coordinator. So I've drafted my code email today, so I'm going to send it out tomorrow and see how it goes. And I applied to Ireland. I think there's a prof that uploaded Ireland scholarship in University of Limerick, so about sustainable sustainability leader scholarship as well. I submitted. I was able to get the admission, but we are still waiting for the scholarship. In fact, I've applied to a lot, but I'm still kind of doubting because I'm the one doing all the SOPs and everything by myself.
Don't worry, just wait. From all you have said, I don't know. This is how it starts. And we talked about, there was a page about summer. We talked about failure, rejection, all of those things. Yeah, I applied in 2016. I wrote all of these 5 essays, and I didn't even reach interview. Apologies who are not on the panel. I didn't even reach interview level. I used those same essays and packaged them, applying for Commonwealth. And I got Commonwealth and I went. This is how it works. You have even applied to more places than I've applied. See, this is what I think. Even in the space of OBI, the equity that women have a lot of, there's a lot of opportunities that will say, oh, women are encouraged to apply. In this case, this is what I think, and I'm saying this because there is no how that you will not get scholarship if you continue like this. It might happen in 2 weeks, it might happen in 1 year, it might happen in 2 months. But you see, you must get this scholarship. And because that is because I can see this, I can just see this. Your contacting supervisor. These are things I didn't even when I was applying for masters. So you have more skills. You have written papers on SDH. You've seen supervised SDH is a huge field in the public. What to just keep publishing, keep writing, keep doing your M&E, keep doing all that you can do in NGO. You will come back to one space and tell us. So congratulations in that.
Just quickly, I just want to reinforce what Aaron said. Please mark today's date down and this space and everything. In fact, you can screenshot this thing and just keep it somewhere. And don't forget to come and share the testimony because, I don't have any other thing to add. I think you've done all that. Is just don't forget, take note of these dates, screenshot this, and, it's around the corner. I can feel it.
Yeah, Baraka, you just want as a politician party, I have this premonition, huge positive premonition that you call us to say, hey, it has for you. It will.
Whoa. Thank you, everybody. I mean, where can I start from? First of all, Baraka, I think you have done fantastic with yourself, with your time, with your dedication. Is beyond. I am speaking here, and I can tell you, I didn't do any of this. Maybe that's why I didn't get the common word the first time when I applied. I didn't do any of this. I'm so amazed how you have managed to pull all this together. So I would suggest you carry on. Please don't stop. Um, I mean, Aaron and everybody, Dr. Olu, everyone has said a lot. So I don't think there's no need for me to review that part. But what I want to tell you is, if you don't mind, I can hopefully be able to support you one way or the other in terms of guidance and mentorship, because you're in public health, I'm in public health. Hopefully we should be able to find something to do. If you want, we could collaborate on something. I did collaborate with someone, was it last year or so, and we had a publication in Nigeria. So it's something that I will be open to.
This is the day I've been looking hard. Thank you so much. I can't even get something.
Well, I mean, let's see what we can try and do, and where we can go. Obviously, I'm not unfortunately, I wish I have more power than I do right now, but I don't. But I think it's however much I can help, I'm happy to do that. You have done a lot, and you should continue to do that, irrespective of. And I think your strength will be so very, it's like it's everywhere. You can literally be in academia and fit so well into it, and you can definitely go on to do your field research, or be health promoter. Like, you're just in everywhere. The diversity is beyond anything. So don't stop, keep going. Even if you go into academia, there's always something that we cherish in academia, which is practice experience. And I think you having that would not in any way be a limitation for you. It is going to be an addition, always going to be an addition, irrespective of wherever you fall. If you decide to go academia, if you decide to go practice as well. So keep doing that. I think you asked a question about UK. Okay, first of all, like Aaron and everyone has said, I also think you should be able to get scholarship, because we know so many people that even with less of what you have, they are able to get scholarship. So I would hope that you are able to push through and go on for scholarship. However, just to mention that within UK, you can pay instrumental. Just to answer that question, obviously I also agree with everyone else that you should go for scholarship, but in UK you can pay instrumental. Once you get in, you can pay down payment, and then depending on the university, you can split the payment over time. But I think you mentioned how easy it is. It's not easy. Oh, my dear, it's not easy. That I can't lie. If I try and lie, if I lie, then I'm just sugarcoating things. It's not. You would have to. I mean, I know people that are doing it, and I'm not saying they shouldn't, because I feel like education is an investment. For example, I will use myself as an example. I had to pay for my master's, and the reason was the time that I had for me I heard about the Commonwealth Scholarship like so late. In fact, when I submitted, I just, even before the the response came, I just felt like, nah, I rushed all this, and when I finished, when it came out, I was rejected, and my sister was like, let's continue, because I was thinking, okay, let me try next year. And she's like, no, how much? I told her then Nigeria is not this bad now, because then it was like about 5 million for the whole thing. And I told her 5 million, and she was like, well, okay, let's see, just continue. So I would have tried for this scholarship the following year, because I started late, the rounds of scholarship had finished, but she was like, let's continue. Now, what I want to take out from that is, I came to the UK, she's supported me, of course, so thankful to her. I also did as much as I could. I worked when I can, and try and support as well. In the end, I got my scholarship for I got scholarship for my PhD before I even get to finish my masters. And immediately from there, I got a job immediately after my PhD. So all in all, I came into the UK paying the UK, and now I'm getting paid. So I can't say it's a bad investment. Yeah, honestly, I can't say it was the thousand. I can't remember. I think my masters was like maybe £10,000 because I had discount. Um, all in all, I can't say my ten. I mean, I've gotten £10,000 over and over and over, countless several times, right? So I won't say it's bad if you're considering payment, but I would agree with everyone else that you probably should be able to, with everything you have in your portfolio, you should be able to get funding rather than paying it. Now, you also mentioned something about MPH. I'm not really sure I remember the question entirely. You said something about how can you get MPH and is it academia? I'm not sure. Um, with MPH, if you finish your MPH, it's very slim that you get academic role immediately in the UK, really, to be honest. You would most likely need a PhD. Although now with the post-study visa in the UK that's now on, you may be able to get some type of, depending on the skills that you show while you're studying your MPH, you may be able to get some exposure to teaching, and maybe that can lead the way for you to be funded. There are some people that don't need they are teaching without, I mean, in my department, I can count how many of us do have PhD and we're teaching. Many of them just have MSc and they stop there for now. But for us international students, we can't really do that, mostly because we don't you while you're doing your masters, you're not really exposed to teaching. And so when you finish, it's like you are now like, I want to teach. You're already done. Nobody's going to pay you because they don't know if you know what you're going to do in class. So that's why most of us would need a PhD to then be able to get the actual teaching job. So but you can definitely, with your MPH, possibly you can get a teaching gig and then decide on going to PhD. Also, you mentioned how your MPH can stop in or are not allowed or let you do PhD or something. I'm not really sure I got that question right. Your MPH cannot stop. In fact, it's a stepping stone to your PhD and is a good start for you to get to get onto your PhD. So it doesn't affect, in fact, and unlike US, UK, you most like in fact, I don't know that you would not need your masters before you get your PhD. I don't think I know any. You would definitely need your MP. So it's, yeah. I hope I try to hold on to your questions. I hope I've addressed them. Dr. Olu, please.
No, I just wanted to shake the thing a little bit. I can't see Baraka in the first one. So what I just wanted my honest prayer, right? Don't even think about paying the same time. I promise you will get a full funded scholarship study. I don't know how it's that's that context. Honestly speaking, don't you can deserve to have this. Promise you to get this. So you will save your money.
Is it me or the network is out?
I think we lost Dr. Olu.
Oh.
Just to add quickly, I think in the US, if you have a BSc from accredited university, you can go for a direct PhD. You don't really need to do a MPH. Or along the line, if you really want, the MPH qualification, so you can get an MPH 2 years into the PhD. In fact, people get that, then they go on to work, and some people continue to get a PhD 3 years after that. So in total, you'll be spending 5 years or even up to 6 years to run from MSc to PhD in the United States.
Yeah, thank you. I think UK also have integrated PhD that they do, so you could have like the funding. They have some PhD that they are integrated with MSc, so you could, or MPH as the case may be, so you could have one or two. Sometimes it's 1 year. Um, Masters, and then you have the PhD. So the way they fund it is going to be 1+3, or sometimes it's 2+3, or some, it depends on their different permutation that they use. So um, to an extent, I think that's the only one. But in general, most UK schools would expect you to have a master's first. But yeah, I do agree that I think you need to really look further into funded MSc or PhD, whichever one you decide, and hopefully that comes through. Aaron, please.
Yes, I think this is a perfect opportunity to sell Australians. Please go and look up the research training program. I know she's not here, but that will allow you to use your research skills really, really well, because the research training program, RTP, in Australia, fund basically just research, so master's by research or PhD. So that will be very, very good, because you are coming from, you have that field rich experience, and then you also have your publications and your research experience. So I mean, Australia is a very, very good destination to start with, and getting a PhD as well. It's also easy to that. Many people have come on to PhD, to masters, and then they just go on, maybe with their supervisors or other people. Research training program. Just tag me on the timeline. I did a tweet about it, so I'll just tag you to it, and then you can just look it up. I mean, there's so many Australian schools. In fact, you will have a problem of choice, because public health is one that. So start off from here. Don't bother yourself too much with this UK people. All this Canada is different. But you look at, you come to Australia where you play with kangaroos and snakes and other people around. Okay, so that's this.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm really, really grateful. In fact, I was sleeping. It's my boyfriend that called me on phone and be like, public health online today. I have to wake up immediately. It's my day. And it is indeed my day. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Baraka, you see that boyfriend, just marry here for you.
In fact, he's a medical doctor as well, and he's working on. But these ones, they are so lazy. They like to work didn't allow them. So we the researchers.
One that woke you up at 10 space, marry him straight.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, sir.
That's all
Thank
the
you.
litmus test you need. That's all you need. He wake you to success. That's it. Done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we are happy. We are happy. We would like for you to share in your joy and testimony once all of this that we have projected comes through, because we believe it will. So, good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Anybody else? I think is it Crown B? You got something for us? Crown Beauty, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much for hosting the space. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can. We can.
Okay. So, I joined the space very late, so I'm not sure if my question has been answered. What is the advantage or advantages of studying a 2-year course, in this case, public health 2 years, over a 1-year course in the UK? From my research, only Teesside and Northumbria University offers 2 years course for public health, and Teesside is not accepting application from international students as we speak, and Northumbria only accept as application for 2 years course in January, and I've gotten a couple of admissions for public health too. But I also got another admission in York St. John, which is Global Healthcare Management, which has 2 years option. Now, which leads me to my second question. Is Global Healthcare Management the same as public health? I'm just curious. Can I go for that? Because my major interest is in public health with nutrition. I'm specifically nutrition aspect of public health. So I'd like you to please shed more light on it. Thank you.
Okay, Aaron, do you want to help us?
Yes, I love this question because I've gotten it a few times. 2 years masters, 1 year masters. The UK, have this what they call taught masters degrees. I did a taught master's degree, right? But some taught master's degree also have a research component. So, the thing is, if you do a 2 year masters, the thing is, some of those 2 year masters will give you opportunities for, say, for instance, placement during your journey. So, you are positioned with maybe, for instance, organizations within the UK that allows you to learn hands-on experience while you're doing your master's degree, and then you also do a research component at the end. But a taught master's that has a research component, which is the one for instance, it's 1 year. In fact, mine was less than 1 year because I started in September, I submitted my August, so it's about 11 or 10. So it's very, very quick, very, very fast. You just get in and get out. So we did have opportunities, for instance, to do placements, which puts us at, for instance, a disadvantage. So people who did a 2 years masters had those opportunities for placement and all of that, and they did the research components, so they are well-rounded, have skills. Those of us who did the 1 year masters didn't have the time, but what we did was, we did the master's degree. We had quicker time to finish, and maybe people went on quickly to start their PhD degrees. Some of us at the time were short-sighted. I didn't want to do a PhD, so I went back to Nigeria to work, right? But if I wanted to go on to do a PhD very, very quickly, if I was so motivated, maybe I would have started my PhD at that time and I would have finished. I have a friend friends who started then and they are rounding up. Some of them finished now. The advantage to it is you can do that 1 year masters if that's the one you are, because if you are doing a research component to it, at the end of it, you are writing a thesis, it is still research. I did a third master. They called it a third master, but I did a thesis. I submitted 11,000. It's a short one, but I submitted 11,000 dissertation, which means that I did research because I interviewed people. I did all my literature, wrote the thesis, which I used submitting because they asked for a writing sample. I submitted when I was applying for my PhD. So that allows you again. But if the 1 year masters does not have a research component where you are doing like maybe you're writing it to submit, then you might also weigh that option, because if you're going to do a PhD, some people are not particularly excited about people who can pick up who did like a research component to it. Although there are other ways to do that. Those of us who didn't have opportunity placement, for instance, what I did was, because I was always passionate about volunteering, the moment I got into the UK, I moved an organization to volunteer with, right? So I was having similar training or similar understanding. I was working volunteering with an organization that was doing HIV stuff in the US, in the UK, and that gave me entry into the space and allowed me to get participants that I used to do my dissertation. So that is the bit. If you are doing a research component, that is fine. It doesn't matter if you did it in 1 year or in 2 years. Although we don't negate the fact that if you did it in 2 years, it means you have more time to study, you have more opportunities to do a lot of things. But in 1 year, I like it, short and smart and sweet. You just go in there, do it, pick up the skills very quickly, move on to the next, right? But if I got a scholarship that was giving me 2 years, why not? I would have gone. I got a PhD scholarship that was to be in Zambia. It was 2 years, but I wanted to go to at the same time I decided to go to the UK for various reasons, right? So that is what to consider if you are thinking of either 1 year or 2 years. 1 year or 2 years, I think it doesn't entirely matter. If you're doing a research component because you want to think of research in the future, if you're doing a research component, that is fine. If you are not doing a research component, then you want to evaluate, think again, think of more options and all of that. Although some experience, maybe volunteering and professional experience, will help you to augment all of that. Global health management and public health. I would argue that there are similarities. If you look at some global health, if you look at some global health modules in the UK and some public health modules, they have similarities. So they are all in the. So if you, public health, generally big explanation is that the population, the public are the patients. You are looking at the health of all the people, right? And then global health, you are looking at the health of the globe or the world, if you like to say that, very literally. So they are very, very similar because some of the modules they are doing will help. So I also argue that if you, for instance, do a global health, you're able to still conveniently go on to do a PhD in public health. Because remember that at this level, what matters is the research interest and the passion and the space you want to venture in. So when you, if for instance you go on to decide to do global health, it will be important to begin to have a niche and think of, okay, what do I want to go on to do for, if you are thinking of going on to do a PhD, what do I want to do a PhD in, and what research, what topic captures my interest. Then you can begin to maybe tailor all your assessment to that particular field. Maybe they give me they ask you to write an essay. Think of it by writing that essay in that particular field. So that these things, when you are applying for a global health thing, you're able to see to it. So I argue that they're very similar. Some people might have contrasting views, but this is my own view. I wanted to do my interest has always been HIV. My master's was health promotion, public health promotion. So we're not talking about all the clinical part of health. All the social part of health, but I knew I needed to stay in the space of HIV. So all of my assessment, all the examples I'm using, all the books I'm using, I was writing about HIV. I wrote up to 15 essays, culminated in my thesis, wrote about HIV. So when I was applying for PhD and I was telling the people, see, I want to do a PhD in public health and in the space of HIV. I had essays that were saying what guy has written about HIV. I had experience in HIV, I had dissertation in HIV. But even if you want to do global health management, I think that what you want to do is still related to public health, because some modules, if you will compare, you see that there are modules that, but it's important to think very strategically about, if I want to go on to do a PhD, what niche of research do I want to do, and then you can begin to tailor all the things you do around that. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Fab, that was well detailed answer, and I hope you have gotten your question clarified. Just to add on that, first of all, I don't want to repeat everything Aaron has said because it's covered a lot. You can or cannot, you don't have to do 2 years public health program. I mean, obviously it's probably enticing because it's longer stay and longer time for you to do your masters. But like he said, within UK, I can tell you as a lecturer right now, there's no public health in the UK that would not have research method and dissertation. That is not possible. With us, we are expected to have, you are expected to cover 100, and I think it's 180, 180 credit loads for your masters, for you to have a masters. Anything below that, it will be a diploma, postgraduate certificate. So for a master's is 180 credit, and your dissertation is 60 credit of that number. So you would definitely have research. It depends on your research interest. Some people will do primary research, which is they are the one that will collect data, either qualitative or quantitative. So I did primary research qualitative because I wanted to get that skills while I was doing my my MSc. Yeah. And some people will do secondary research, which is reviewing articles, either literature review or systematic review, narrative review, whatever type of review would be another approach that some people would do. But you would most definitely have something of that nature to do, and that will contribute to your research skills. Now, with what's it called? T-side, I mean, T-side is swamped with, I said this at the start of this platform. T-side is extremely swamped with applicants, and I don't think they will be opening their portal anytime soon. And I mean, we all know the reason why. It's because they have 2 years a master's program. Also, just to mention, I did say it earlier, this placement that you have, because with the T side, they have 1 year taught class sessions, and then this 1 year is for placement. Just to mention that the university is not going to look for placement for you. We don't do that. Any placement, you are looking for your placement yourself. The only placement they will look for you is when you are on certain courses, like the clinical courses like nursing, because those are compulsory components to the program. So they have to look for those placements for you. But These ones that are optional, they are not going to look for it for you. You would have to. So the fact that you have 2 years does not guarantee that you would actually have that 2 years completed. If you don't have a if you don't have the placement, they are going to take back. I've seen it. A lot of people, they withdraw the 1 year on your visa, and you're left with, the normal 1 year. So just for you to consider, open your mind. If those two schools are not available, you can still get your public health. Now, when it comes to global health, just to briefly say, you said I've actually opened the course that you're interested in, global healthcare, and I'm on the university page because I thought I should check out their course components. Now they are doing understanding healthcare policy and strategy. There's understanding healthcare research. There's leadership and change management, digital health, design thinking for sustainability, sustainable healthcare, marketing and communications, applied research project. Okay, so this is quite a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 3 courses for term 1 and 3 courses for term 2, and a research project for your term 3. These courses, they do have overlap with public health, definitely, but they are not same as public health. What I'm saying here is that you can, like Aaron said, you can definitely do a PhD in public health if you're interested in PhD, of course, with this. But this is more of healthcare. It's not global healthcare. Is healthcare management. So you're talking of different types of healthcares globally and how you manage them. So you're talking of managing hospital setting within different global contexts. So it's different than population health. You're managing health, just so you know. You can still go for it, and I'm not discouraging you if you want to consider it, but it's not entirely healthcare, public health. So where you're having like health promotion, like epidemiology, you're not going to have those in this program. You will be focused on managing healthcare. I do have a colleague who did her PhD in healthcare management, and I think her master's was somewhere around that. So she went on to do a PhD in healthcare management. She worked with the NHS, looking at how to manage, different projects in the NHS, and it was quite successful. I mean, very successful, because now she's on a postdoc. So I'm not discouraging you that you can't do anything with this, because you can, but just to say that, know that it's not entirely public health. Thank you. Is it Maran? Let me pick the name. Maranatha.
Hi everyone. So I joined the conversation like halfway through, and when the conversation was around volunteering. So basically, I'm not answering Crown's question. But I'll just talk generally. So I heard Barakat speak, and I just wanted to further encourage her, like everybody else has done. I'm not doing a PhD or anything. No, I don't even have an MSc in public health, but I have solid experience in public health. And I'm encouraging her from a very personal experience, because when I have 3+ years in public health, and the organization I worked with was very fluid in such a way that it gave you an opportunity to move around and do quite a lot of things. So in my role, I did M&E, I did capacity building, and I did supply chain, which they are very big. They are very big in the space. But I had the opportunity to do all of that, and I did a bit of policy work as well. So for everybody who is listening, or for anybody who is listening, maybe you're already in the space, or you're schooling and you're looking to transition in. If you get into an organization that gives you that kind of that kind of advantage or those kind of opportunities, don't hesitate to take them on. And I already have education and whatever, but maybe further down the line, I will still do like a public health education and all, but that's a consideration further down the line. But for me, it just gives you so many options to pick from when you want to really focus. And again, if you're really good in all the subsectors or these subfields that you've availed yourself to, it gives you, because for me, I've done all of this, but my focus or my passion is actually data management, is data analysis, is M&E, monitoring and evaluation. But if you call me to come and do capacity building or any other thing, I will do it and everything. But then it just gives you a broader view, and you're able to sort of cherry pick. You're like, you have all these skills, you have all these experiences, and then you can now pick and focus on it. So I just wanted to come up and say that and encourage anybody or encourage people on the space. And also going back to volunteering, a lot was said about that, a lot has been said about that. But also just wanted to say, especially if you live outside of the big cities, like if you live outside of Abuja, you live outside of Lagos, you live outside of Kaduna, if you live in a local government area, right, please and please and please, if you're looking for volunteer experiences, a lot of NGOs work in a lot of local government areas in so many fields, maternal health, HIV, polio vaccination, whatever. Align yourselves with these NGOs. Like sometimes they look for people, we just want people that will gather people together for us to come and do some health promotion, or we are doing an outreach, you're just looking for people. They are always looking for people. They are always looking for people. So for people who don't live in the big cities, but want these opportunities as well, keep your ears on the ground. Look out. Like if you're looking for something, go after it. Because you meet these NGOs who are trying to do activities in these LGAs or in this community, and they don't have anybody. Their staff don't work in those communities. They don't live in those communities. They need people on the ground, and that's one way that you can really get yourself involved and really get yourself attached to any of these NGOs. So just wanted to say that, and nice work everybody on here is doing. Well done everybody, and I wish everybody all the best.
Thank you. That was really nice of you to come up and encourage all of us, not just Baraka, but definitely all of us. I think we do need that. And well done for all you're doing. So there's something, I mean, obviously this doesn't really relate to most of, in fact, no international students would probably be able to get this. But I just want to touch on the fact that you said you don't have um um you've been working in public health, you probably don't have some certification in public health. So public health is, I said it at the start of this program, that this space, that public health is very huge and is so diverse. I don't think there's anyone that can be in public health. You have something to do in public health. There's just that something, whatever it is, there is there for you in public health. So within my university right now, we have a program called apprenticeship. I don't know what it would translate to in other countries, but I believe they have that. So what we are doing is we have BSc public health, and then we have apprenticeship public health. So those apprenticeship public health, they are actually people that are working in public health but do not have public health certification, right? So because if you're for UK context, if you get to a certain level in your career, if you don't have qualification, you would sort of like just get stuck. So most of them, they've been working and they've gotten to like the pinnacle of how far they can go without certification, and now they now go back to university, and so they have working experience. They don't have the theoretical experience or the theoretical knowledge. So we now, it's like the reverse of what you normally do. You go and learn, and then you go to the field and practice, but their own is they are already practicing, but they don't have the theoretical knowledge. So they come back to classroom and then pick that up while they're still working. Most of the time it's funded by their employers. So, but it's not open, obviously, because you have to have gotten a job and all. So it's not open to international students, unfortunately. But I just wanted to pinch into that however, whenever, if you feel like you can still use your knowledge of practice to sort of like get public health what's that thing called, qualification, and move in the direction that you want. And if you don't want that too, it's still fine. You as I'm very sure public, I'm confident with public health, like you can do and undo. And within Nigerian context, oh my goodness, I'm jealous of all the NGOs that are there, and the activities that are going on. It's amazing, and well done to all of you still doing so much work in Nigeria. Thank you. Any addition, takeaway? We have actually been going on for over 5 hours. Can't believe it. Anything else? Any one of our esteemed speaker want to add one or two things while we're still up here?
Yes, I was just going to say, think of Australia as well in your decisions. Thank you.
This was really about
the passion. Never seen, I mean, The passion Aaron has for Australia is beyond. You have to be voted for something in Australia. Maybe Mayon, is it Mayor? What do you guys have? What's the local council? What do you guys have?
I don't want anything. If the prime minister, if they know how much I can pass, they will just give me permanent residency, sharp, sharp. But I don't know how it works. Maybe the more they come, maybe they'll just say, "This one I try." Yeah.
Okay, we can petition. They do that actually because your patriotism is beyond here. I mean, I'm in UK and UK is paying me. UK is paying me. But I'll keep quiet. So anyway, please check out Aaron's so many resources that he's put in for Australia. Check them out, use them judiciously and as much as possible, and hopefully we wish you all the best. Like I've said earlier, everyone on this stage we are always trying to share as much as possible resources. I want people to come in and not just be senior lecturer but be professors in wherever their field is, and if they don't want to be in academia, be the best or be forefront of their field. So I'm very happy to support, to help. Of course, time is limited in how much I can do, but I still try my best to, and that's why I sort of like just started doing this sort of like advocacy on traveling abroad and just making best of the opportunities that are out there that many people might not be aware of. So please follow all the speakers, use their resources, and when needed, seek support. That I think that will be my wrapping up message for everyone here. Thank you so very much, everybody that has joined us, those that have joined us prior, those that have left, those that are still here. Thank you for your time. And thank you to my speakers. I think all of you guys actually did not plan to join this space. And I just pull you all in, like, please come and join me, come and join me. So I do appreciate your time, just being here with us. Thank you so very much. And everybody else, I wish you the best in your journey for your, those that are on their program. I wish you the best with your program. And those that are seeking funding or seeking opportunities, I do wish you the very best as well. We will be here. We will try as much as possible to be pushing out, to be supportive, to be representing the Niger flag as much as we can. So the best of luck to all of us. Thank you. And do have a good night, good morning to Aaron. I really appreciate you being here this early in the morning. Good evening, just good everything. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks. How about that?
My stream is done. We had 8,800 people join. It was a fantastic event. I am thankful. Thankful.